boys. Today we have Lauren Lainson joining us, and the reason we asked you, Lozzie, I haven't told you this yet, to come on board for our podcast is, when you meet those people and they just seem to have their shit together, all ducks are in row, with a busy lifestyle. So Lozzie, as you'll learn today, has 4 young kids, works, always has a smile on her face, and I often find myself thinking, is it as seamless as it looks? And do you have it together as much as it would be? I don't know. What am I trying to say?
Like the little duck with the feet under the water.
So we're going to look under the bonnet today and have a bit of a chit-chat, if that's cool. Lozzie did 3 marathons last year, which we're going to definitely dig into that, which was obviously a tough personal year as well, which we might talk about a little bit as well. But Lozzie, thank you, firstly, for coming on Tribe Talk.
Thanks for having me.
How are you feeling?
I'm super nervous.
Are you?
Like, I'm a long-time podcast listener.
Right.
And first time ever doing anything like this, and being on the other side is not okay with me.
That's right. I'm sure you'll be fine. We'll get you through it. Let's just kick it off by telling us a bit about yourself, upbringing, sports, hobbies, I don't know, a bit of that sort of stuff.
Okay. All right. So some might say that where I grew up isn't really in the Shire, Alfred's Point. We're on the outskirts out there, so I'll leave that one alone.
The Shire. Technically, that's the Shire.
That's the Shire. So we grew up out at Alfred's Point. Mum, dad, older brother Chris, and younger sister Ash. We were exposed to a lot of sport growing up. Dad worked long hours, but Mum was at home the whole time, so she was taking us to netball, basketball. What else did we do? Swimming, tennis, a whole range of things.
Right.
Like, we were exposed to a lot, so that was pretty cool. And then went to school locally there at Aquinas and moved on to university and did a Bachelor of Education in PDHPE.
Cool.
But I kind of found my feet in OzTag as my chosen sport.
Yeah.
So that became a big thing for me in 2002 when I graduated, and I...
Graduated uni,
high school that was.
Oh, high school, right, sorry.
And I made my first Australian national team for that. So that was kind of where my kind of passion for sport grew from there.
And not before then? Like, not when you were in 7, 8, 9, 10?
It's hard. Like, when you're at school, I don't really think I found maybe my people in terms of that. Like, I had supportive friends and everything, but they weren't really sporty. So I was kind of doing a lot with girls that were older than me, girls that were younger than me, and forming friendships outside of school as well.
Right. Cool.
Which have in turn happened to be my lifelong friends now.
And a lot of them have been OzTag, is that what you're saying?
And a lot of them have been OzTag,
So then OzTag and then uni. So uni was done, and then where was your first job?
My first job was at Baker's Delight at Sutherland.
Right.
Yeah.
At what age?
17. Oh, actually, no, that's a lie. It was 12. I was reffing OzTag.
Oh, right.
Reffing.
Wow.
So I started when I was reffing.
And then what school were you first posted at, or whatever you call it?
I was out at Auburn. At Trinity Catholic College out there, and then have since secured a permanent position closer to home. So it's been great with having young kids and living and working so close to home. So my boss has been amazing, or bosses over the years have been amazing, and really flexible with returning to work. So
cool. Tell us about the kids. How many ages, names?
Yeah, so Nick, first of all, is my husband. He helped me have the children. We have been married for 10 years, just gone last November, and we've got 4 kids. So Frankie is 8, the twins are now 7, and Sonny just turned 3.
Wow.
So 3 girls.
Are they at? What's going on there at home at the moment with the kids? What's happening?
Oh, they're just getting in. They're finding their feet in sport, what their interests are, the twins are very different.
So 2 girls.
Yeah, the twins are, they're fraternal, so they're not
different
identical.
to each other or different to the other 2?
To each other.
Yeah.
So they're not identical.
How are they different?
Temperaments, definitely. One's very driven. The other's just like kind of a bit more lax and relaxed, and she can be a bit prone to a tantrum. But
Right. And then you joined Tribe back when we opened, 2011.
Yeah, lifelong Tribe.
Favourite Tribe memory? Got anything for me?
Yeah. Like, it'd be hard to top Team Ash and Loz.
Oh, that's cool. Tell us about that.
Yeah, and the Bali retreat that followed from that as well. Well, that was back in the day when challenges were aplenty at Tribe.
Yeah.
And you got a group of, I guess, leaders of the gym, that, as you call them, in a room together and just kind of explained your concept of how you wanted to do the next challenge. And that was, everyday people just to share how they go about things, essentially what we're doing on the podcast now, and do it in groups and to be led by a leader. So you were affiliated with Team Ash and Loz. I was like, yep, I will do it as long as I have my sister on board with me.
Yeah, that was good, hey?
Yeah, and we had such a cool team. Don't you remember our team? And I think I think a lot of people liked the different approach that we took because ours was yoga and relaxation, and weren't we ahead of the time with that?
We did well there,
a little
didn't we?
bit.
I'm pretty sure you introduced everyone to Ramsgate Markets back in that time as
Yeah,
well.
Ramsgate Markets, just a few like little key things that we did differently that people were like, oh, yeah, that's cool. Like I can do that. Or where did you get that spice from to spice up your chicken? No, it's a really cool concept. And then, we won the challenge.
Oh, and then you went to Bali.
And then we went to Bali.
That was so this was like a fat loss challenge. I was like the trainer, and Loz and her sister Ash were the like the leaders, the captains, if you like, leading the members through their fat loss challenge and giving them some insights into what you guys do. And the winning team, so the captains, retreat to Bali.
Yeah.
5 nights?
7 nights, wasn't it?
Commune.
First summer
2018, 2019.
I left my 3 children
Right.
at home.
What do you remember
With their
about
father.
What do you remember about the retreat?
Look, there was plenty of downtime, plenty of silence, which I hadn't had for a long time. I could go to the toilet by myself.
So that would have been pretty cool, hey?
I think it was just the simple things that I appreciated the most.
Yeah.
Walking into a room and not having to speak to anybody or do anything and just being able to lay on a bed. But there was socialising.
I remember on that one, sorry. I'm going to throw Diane, my sister-in-law, under the bus here. I just remember, this wasn't planned, DD, sorry about that, but she was similar, right? Young kids, got there, oh my God, this is great me time, and I'm pretty sure she slept the whole time. Like, it'd be like, where's Diane? 1 p.m, she's sleeping.
Don't know.
But you guys needed it, right? It was good.
And
good
it was
break.
just an ability to be able to connect with other people that you hadn't before. So, there were good times that were had.
Cool.
Yeah.
Tell us what you're most proud of. Bit of a broad question, but like, what is it that you might be most proud of?
Oh, it's our family that Nick and I have created, hands down. We got 4 kids, and people often we meet on the street and they're like, "Oh, time for a TV," or whatever else.
Yeah.
We actually worked hard to get our kids. We went through the whole IVF procedure. So
was that with all
4?
All 4?
Oh, we got lucky with one of the twins.
And the other 3,
And the other
IVF.
3, all IVF. Yep.
What was that process like? So was Frankie obviously the first IVF? Was she like longer to sort of, did it take that long? Was that the longer process out of all the other,
because
the other
I
2?
guess it's all new. You're learning as well. Stress levels are high. You're like, you start to think, what have I done wrong? And it's all about me. And
so how old were you then when you fell pregnant with Frankie?
I had Frankie, I just turned 31.
Right, and you're 39 now, right?
39, I'm 40 this year,
40,
correct.
boom.
Yeah. So, we before Nick and I got married, we kind of knew that was the path that we probably would have to take.
Yeah.
And so we were pretty proactive with, getting all our ducks in a row. So
that's not like you to be proactive and get organised. Yeah, excellent.
Yeah, and we went and had this epic adventure after we were married in America for 8 weeks, came back, still nothing. So we just got straight into it. We were unsuccessful a few times. Like I remember some pretty dark days, like bawling my eyes out, sitting on the bottom of the shower, just like, what have I done so wrong? And just feeling also guilty to Nick as well in the process, because they're kind of helpless, the men, in the whole procedure and the way that it plays out. So I really felt ownership of that. But he always says to me, if it was up to us to have kids, if he was the one that had to do the needles and inject himself, he's like, we would never have had them, because he just can't face needles. So
that's nice. Yeah.
So it's all kind of pretty forgotten now that you look at them and you're into the swing of life for kids, and
how good.
It doesn't matter how you got there, we got there in the end. And really,
and then when you say
that,
so if that's the thing you're most proud of, your family, what is it about the family that makes you proud?
I just think that we don't take it for granted. You
Right.
know, we have a lot of family time together. We do a lot of family holidays together. We spend a lot of time. Like we love to go out to Voodoo, go out the lighthouse walk. We go to the beach together.
Yeah.
We love to do things together.
And Nick's a hands-on dad, hey? Like
And
yeah.
he's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like one of the best. Yeah. Like all three girls, we just got back from a South Coast holiday. All three girls got up standings.
Yeah. Thanks, Dad. That's awesome.
Yeah, and
Nick,
Ozzy
sorry.
was in
Yeah.
there, my brother-in-law helping as well. But, you know, it's just we spend time with them, we're present with them,
Cool.
we listen to them, and I think that makes us a pretty tight family unit. And I to be honest, that's just been modelled from me from day dot anyway. So
From
I
your
don't
mum and
know
dad.
from my mum and dad,
Yeah.
so I don't know any different. Like,
And then who's the disciplinarian out of you and Nick with the children?
he's pretty hard on them,
Yeah.
Nicky.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he
Because
can
I would
be.
have thought that would have been a straightaway you, but no, not so much.
Yeah, I do discipline them.
But Nick's like right in there,
He's
yep.
pretty firm.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's very firm with them.
Cool.
So, you know.
If you had to pick something else, like a secondary thing, or just another thing, I should say, that you're really proud of, would there be something on top of the family? Would there be something else?
I mean, playing for your
Yeah.
nation, like your country is pretty cool. And that was long standing. And I had the opportunity to captain as well for a number of years.
Yeah.
So that's pretty impressive. And I think as well, the Canberra Marathon last year,
Yep.
showing up to the start line for that race, that was really hard and for a number of reasons. And getting that race done, yeah, I'm pretty proud of that one.
That one.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that. So, like, you did 3 marathons last year, but, like, do you want to share prior to, like, do you want to go there? Or
The
far-
timeline of the year?
Yeah, like, all that sort of stuff.
like 2024, we couldn't have fit more in that year.
Yeah.
Or I personally couldn't have fit more in that year if I tried, I don't reckon. I think I said to you, like, you know, between the 3 marathons, you know, we bought and sold a house and moved and lived with mum for 4 months. Like we did all this thing, but obviously the biggest thing that's ever happened to me in my life was losing my dad. Yeah. And that happened early in the year, the day before my 39th birthday. He's a huge role model for me, just a genuine human being, like easily was able to connect with people, make people feel valued and, always really present and listened. And heaps of his friends say that still now. They're like, oh, we just thought he was like that with us. Then you just hear so many stories of just a genuine human.
So that was in March, right?
And that was in
unexpected.
March. So purely unexpected. So fit guy, didn't drink a lot, never smoked, didn't even drink coffee. He'd go for hot chocolates. Like he was someone who looked after his body and he'd
Didn't
had a
drink
couple
hot
of
chocolates. Wow.
yeah.
I had one last night.
He'd had a couple of health scares in regards to his heart over the years, but he'd overcome that and had good reports. And only just 6 months prior to his passing, had a good report from the cardiologist. But I don't know. It's funny because it's almost like it was written for him.
Yeah.
Like it was always meant to happen. So he went for his routine Sunday swim down at Cronulla. He would swim Shark Island like 3 or 4 times a week. So he's gone down there and, he just never came home.
Wow.
He didn't make it around. He wasn't even in the water for like 20 minutes, they reckon. So, worst day. Yeah.
We don't, thanks for sharing that. So then you're in the midst of training for that Canberra Marathon at that point, right? So that was in March when your dad passed?
Yeah, so I hadn't done a marathon for 11 years.
Yeah.
Obviously, with IVF, having kids, like my priorities were elsewhere. And I just thought, Sonny's 2 now. I can probably give the time to the training that's required for a marathon. So I went, yep.
So when did you start the program?
I started January. So I said, I'm going to do this right. I'd
And it's
previously
April
been...
what?
It's April 6.
So you got 16, 17 weeks to prep?
16 weeks. So
And in your head, that's enough time?
plenty of time. That's a great program.
Yeah.
Like leader. And I said,
Was
I'm
there a
going to do it
goal?
right. I'm going to do it right. I'm going to get a coach, coach, because I want to do quality over quantity. I want to look after my body, getting older.
Yep.
I'm going to do it right. So I had all the systems in place and was checking in with her. And the goal was to do a PB. So my PB in the past had been 3:05. I'd done
3 hours, 5 minutes.
3
marathon.
hours
Yeah.
and 5 minutes in Melbourne, and that was
Because how many had you done prior
2011.
to?
Only 2.
So you'd done 2. So this was your third.
This is
Right.
my third, but my
And-
first in 11 years. So it was
Right.
like 20,
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah. Gotcha. So you're going for a PB.
Yeah.
Good on you.
Yeah, I know.
Sorry.
What an idiot.
So.
So Dad died 3 weeks before. 3 weeks before the race.
Yeah.
3 or 4 weeks before the race. And I don't think that anyone would have said anything if I'd have said, I can't do it. But I think it was just the beginning of the year where I used running as a tool to cope with my loss and grief.
Gotcha.
Because in hindsight, that's exactly what I did. Because as soon as I got to December and I had nothing else, it was pretty overwhelming.
Right.
So
after the third marathon last year, there wasn't much to focus on as much. Like
Yeah.
it was what happened then.
no, it's all right. I was just feeling the feels.
Yeah.
And I did that along the way. So Canberra, I showed up to the start line and I didn't fuel my body correctly in hindsight.
Fuel?
No, I didn't have a nutrition plan. My coach was like, are you carb loaded? And I went, yep. Done. Went out for dinner the night before with her and I'd taken Mum with me. Brave human. Her and Dad had only been in Canberra like 2 weeks before he passed away and they were
Right.
talked about coming to watch me. And I said, yep. So I rang up the hotel and I said, I just want to see if I can get an upgrade. I want to bring my mum down with
Yeah.
me. And the guy was like, oh, let me see what I can do. And he goes, yep, I got one with 2 beds, everything. I can throw in breakfast for you as well. And I said, oh, my God, like my dad just passed away. Like I couldn't help but think that Dad had a hand in it. Anyway, I rang
wow.
Mum and I told her and she was obviously just
Yeah.
crying, but she came. It's pretty
Right,
brave to
that's
face,
huge.
like that's where she'd just been. And to be honest, running around that whole track, I was thinking about her more so than Dad because
Yeah.
I just thought, what a brave
Yeah.
human. It doesn't matter if it's your mum, just anyone, like
Yeah.
getting out of bed, coming to support me, you know. She
3
was
weeks after.
3 weeks after coming back and facing it in the town that she'd just been in with.
So
And
I don't know that. What was that part? So
like,
she'd been in Canberra with your dad,
Your dad.
not long
like
ago.
2 weeks before he died.
Okay. Right.
So so I was thinking, and then just the support that I had there, I just you know yourself, Carla, Rach, Costy, Paddy,
Your coach, obviously.
my coach was there with her husband
Mate
that
of
was
your
running.
dad's was there as well. I remember that guy
Yeah,
walking
Jeff
around.
Norman.
Yeah.
Yes.
Parramatta
Like,
supporter.
yeah,
He didn't
that's
shut up
right,
about the
that's
Eagles the whole day.
And I'm just like, I mean, Mickey Karim was running as well. It wasn't just
Yeah.
for me, but you just go, wow, what great people I have in my life. Like I just remember, there's a photo of me just bawling as I'm running. I remember seeing Carlo and just going, what are you doing here? Like,
So you're on the start line, Canberra. In your head on that morning, did you still think you were going to do a PB 3 weeks after your dad passed? Like in your head, were you thinking you're going to try
my
and do
coach told me I had all the tools to break 3 hours.
on that day?
Huge.
And then
Yeah.
you got into the run because what did you do? What tell us about that run? Like how'd that go?
I just got to 28K and I hit the wall and she looked at all of my data, which is what I, pay her to do and your heart rate and everything. And it just
Wow.
blew out. And she's
Yeah.
like, that's related to your nutrition. Like,
But
you
it's
didn't
not related
feel-
to the stress that you endured
It
the
would have
last 3
been.
weeks?
It would have been
Yeah.
obviously a lot. And then post race, I just crashed. I came out in cold sores and never even had cold sores before,
okay.
everywhere in my eye, and it was almost like in that race, I just needed to physically hurt as much as what I was feeling because
Yeah.
I was in the worst possible place. I was going to bed every night, like bawling my eyes out. Like I didn't think that life was ever going to be as it was before losing Dad, and I feel like I really needed to hurt in that race, and I did, and I paid for it. I couldn't go to work for 2 weeks.
Because just
I was just
zero
mentally,
energy?
physically, emotionally just done.
Gone.
Yeah.
So going into Canberra, like had you done a PB on that day, would there have been Marathon 2 and 3 that year? Were they on the cards already?
Yes, 3. So 3 is New York, which is a huge one, because we'd spoken to Mum and Dad. It was our 10-year wedding anniversary in November, and on our honeymoon, we'd said, want to come back here on our 10-year wedding anniversary, and I said, and I'm going to do the New York Marathon.
Oh, cool.
And we just kind of, and Nick's a huge fan of American sport.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was always, and Dad was like, yeah, well, you should go, and then you should catch a basketball game or something, whatever Nick wants to do, either side. And Mum's like, yeah, that's because he's not going to be the one that's doing anything with the kids, like really. So we'd already asked, but obviously it was a conversation that we needed to have again.
Revisit, with your mum.
Yeah. So there was already 2.
And she was just like, yep, go.
No, I think it was hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, for her. Yeah. To say, we had the support of some of my, like Dion, Susan was huge in supporting, and then we got a great family network, which so we're fortunate in that respect.
So when you finished Canberra, and what time did you do in Canberra? Can I ask that?
Yeah.
What'd you do?
I did a 3-hour and 20-minute marathon, which is
I thought it was like more than that.
No.
Because I remember seeing you run that day, and you were like not yourself. You were obviously had a lot going on, but okay, that's still pretty good. Jesus.
Yeah.
So 3:20, and then what did you feel after it? Did you feel, good on me? I did it. I had a crack.
Yeah.
Were you disappointed?
You have to. You have to.
Yeah.
I don't know how anyone could finish a race of any kind and just be that disappointed.
Yeah.
How good. You had the opportunity to run a marathon.
Got it done.
And I did it.
And then how long after
Despite
2 years
everything.
sat down with your coach and said, right, I'm assuming this, I want to do a PB. Is that the goal, September?
Yeah.
September,
Yeah.
Sydney.
Yeah. So
Number 2.
So this is another reason why I think it was always meant to be with Dad, because we had a Fiji family holiday booked in June, July, and it was to go away and do ocean swimming events, and Dad was like pumped for it. So we all still went, and we did these swims and out in these beautiful pockets of Fiji, and I just found that really healing for me to be with my family. We were all mourning the loss of the same person.
Yeah.
Doing what he loved the most. It was almost like he gave us that, or
Yeah, wow, you're a pretty amazing family,
to
hey?
be able to cope and move forward. So it was kind of there that I went, I'm going to do Sydney, and I'm going to have a go.
Oh, it got me emotional then. Yeah, right.
Yeah. So I just went, yep. I came home, messaged my coach, and I said, I don't want to do as long a prep though. I don't want to do 16-week. I want to do 12-week program. And she went, yep. And I love running in Sydney. Like, we are so fortunate to live where we do, I believe. It's just, have you ever run in Sydney on a Bluebird day with the Harbour
beautiful.
Bridge, the Opera House? And I just look around and I go, how good is this? Like,
Yeah.
nothing compares. Canberra definitely doesn't compare. That is a shithole. Far out. Can I say that?
You can say that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I was like, yep, no brainer. Let's sign me up. So I knew that nutrition was my downfall for Canberra as well, a little bit. Obviously, the mental state played a big role, but I said, I'm going to get my mate, Bridge, little plug for Bridgie, Bridget Hunt, nutritionist,
I didn't know
dietitian.
that. She's nutritionist, right.
And she did me up a plan, and I dead set could not eat the food for
Like lots of food?
3 days prior. So I'm about 65 kilos.
Yeah.
It's 12 grams of carbs per kilo of weight that you are. So it's like 780 grams of carbs per day. She's like, you will not eat that. You need to have Coke, lollies.
Right, drink
like
it.
my dietary plan was just, I went shopping and I was like, I actually can't, I couldn't eat it.
Yeah.
Could not eat it all.
Because the volume or the bad choice, like the sugary stuff?
Because
Both.
you both, yeah, because I
Yeah.
not normally eat that. But I
And
said,
did you eat it? Did you eat the sugary
I
stuff?
tried to do as much as I could. I couldn't eat it all,
Right.
but I tried to do as much as I could. Yeah, tried to stick to the plan. I was like, trust the process, stick to the plan. And I said to my coach,
So that's like plus you got protein and fats. Like you must have been having 4,000 calories.
yeah, a lot. Yeah. In the 3 days.
3 days prior.
Yeah. And then so I went into that race and I was like, said to Zoe, my coach, I said, oh, I should Connect. What is she? Connect Personal Training or whatever she is.
Yeah,
Connect,
give her a shout out.
Yeah, Connect Performance.
Yes.
I said I want to smile in this one because I hurt so bad in Canberra.
Yeah.
I want to be consistent.
With what? The
my
run
Ks
on the
per
day?
kilometre.
Yeah.
Because my they blew out massively. And I said I want to get a PB.
Right.
So they were my 3 things.
12 weeks prior. Yeah.
12 weeks prior. I smiled.
Yeah.
I ran 420s the whole race, like give or take a second or two, the whole race. I was super consistent. And I got a 3:04.
PB.
So, PB.
Tick.
I was stoked.
That is awesome.
The best morning.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was kind of like a little bit of redemption.
Happy.
Yeah.
Tick. Don't need to kill myself in New York.
And then I just went, damn it, I wish I ran a bit faster, and I went sub 3.
On that day in September for your number 2.
Yeah.
And then, you've done 3 or 4. So then after that,
Yeah.
what's gone through your head? You psycho.
Yeah, I'm a psycho. No, I...
How long till you... So you obviously said to yourself, I want to go
So this
sub
is
3.
a quick turnaround. So that was September. And
Mid-September, late September?
New York, I think it's the second week of September, and New York was only like 6-7 weeks later.
Right.
Pretty quick turnaround.
So what did you do? You have 1 or 2 weeks off? Or
Yeah.
not? Yeah.
Yeah, light. Just like 8 or 12K runs a couple of times a week.
Half our audience just went, is that your version of light?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. So obviously Mum had agreed to have the kids.
Right.
And
So 1 or 2 weeks off. So how long was your New York prep for? 4 weeks or something?
yeah, it wasn't long.
And what was the directive to your coach at the beginning of that?
Well, when
program?
I actually put in my time for New York, I put it in at 3 hours and 45 minutes. I wanted to complete it in. When I applied for it, like earlier in the year with Young Quest,
Thinking you're just going to
I just said
cruise?
I just want to cruise and enjoy it and soak it up and see the
Gotcha.
crowd and just vibe off it and just be, oh my gosh, like I am doing the New York Marathon. Like that's amazing.
Did you love
And
it, by
then-
the way? Like, did you just love it?
Yeah, because
Like
you've
the
done it.
people, the people lining the
phenomenal.
streets?
Well, you told me to put my name on my bib.
Did they do it? Did you do it?
Yeah, I
All
did
the
it.
Americans yelling out, go Lozzie.
Go Lars, go Lars. And then I had this one guy, he goes, go Lowe's. Like, I would never forget his face. He like looked like he couldn't, read my name. Anyway, so, it's just amazing. And I, going there, I just said to Zoe,
Yeah, what'd you say to her? What was you...
I just said, I don't think I'm going to have a crack at sub 3. I said, Nick and I, we're going to be in San Fran the week before. Like, I'm with my husband. We never have a holiday without kids. I said, so it was nice to actually know that we still love each other. That was nice. Because it was for our 10-year wedding anniversary as well. And Nick's like, it's not just about the run this holiday. And I was like,
When did he say
yeah.
that? Like a month out?
Yeah. I was like, oh, yeah, but it kind of is about the run as well.
And do you reckon he knew that you thought that
Yeah, it was
is?
always on my mind. So we went
Was it early in... Was it
No, so we went to San Fran first
for a week?
for a week, and
then you
we
went
went
to
to
New York.
see the Warriors because Nick either wanted to see LeBron play. This is where Kyrie will appreciate this. He either wanted to see LeBron play in his lifetime, or he wanted to see Steph Curry.
Right.
And we're sitting at the bar the night before we go to the game, and Nick's he just went, hands to his face. I go, what? Like a dead set. Did not know what happened. He goes, Steph's injured. He's out. He's out tomorrow. He was like, are you? Like, he was filthy. I've never seen him so annoyed. So anyway, Steph was on the sideline, but we had a great night regardless. So we saw that. We went to the NFL. We went to the ice hockey. We just had so much spectating of sport. And then when we landed in New York, I was like, shit just got
Here we
real.
go.
Like it's such a big thing. You're like a rock star over there.
Yeah.
If you're doing the marathon, they just think you're a god.
Yeah.
And even after the race,
That's amazing.
I just felt like the biggest legend.
Yeah.
And they're like, here's a free
Yeah.
Shake Shack burger.
got
Here's
my
a
medal on my
free
football.
cookie. And we went to the sports bar and they're like, that one's on me, like the full
Wow.
pitcher
Yeah,
of beer.
Oh,
And I'm
that's
like,
right. I remember.
this is like
Wow.
amazing. And then you wear it for like days after if you wanted to.
good.
But
So the
anyway.
goal that you told Zoe,
Zoe,
prior,
I just said,
said,
I
what do you-
don't know. I said, I'm just going to see how I feel.
Right.
And then she
Yep.
FaceTimed to me the night before the race.
No, but 4 weeks prior, what was the directive to her?
I said, I don't know.
You just want to run.
I just want to run.
Enjoy it. So you've got no time on the horizon. Yep,
I
sweet.
said, I want to go. I don't want to be at the basketball with my husband.
Stressing my head off.
And not having a beer because,
Yeah, gotcha.
you know, like,
Cool.
or enjoying ourselves.
So you woke up the morning of?
Woke up the morning of. No, the night before the race, she goes, Loz, if you want to do it, like your times, all your data suggests that you can get there. And as an amateur runner, I don't know, people are probably like, what's the big deal with 3 hours? It's just kind of a big thing.
It's a thing. If you do sub 3 hours, you're a weapon.
Like, it's pretty cool. And so I was FaceTiming her. She goes, look, just at halfway, you're going to know. If you're feeling all right,
cool.
just have a crack. And I went, yeah, good plan. Yep, okay.
And you're hydrated. You kind of eaten well 3-4 days prior.
Packed rice bubbles in my bag. What else? Had crumpets, packed honey. So I had all this few things from home.
Yeah, so
and
you
I was
secretly
like,
knew you were prepping well. I love that.
I was doing a lot of nutrition planning as well. Like I had
Yep.
my thing from Bridgie again, and I was just like, yeah, doing all the right things. But I hadn't like cared the week before either.
Mm-hmm.
So I think coupled with a bit of like relaxation, and then it's still eating the right things. And then rocking up to the start line, like far out. I'll never forget the cannon sound. I was in the tent and the cannon went off, the start cannon for the professional athletes.
Bang, yeah.
And it goes like, and I just thought Boston bombing. Like,
oh, no, right.
yeah, I was freaked out.
They didn't give you any pre-warning that was going to happen.
No, I didn't know that was going to happen. So the girl that I made friends with, she was reassuring. But anyway, so went to the start line and then I was just like, you get so caught up. Like my first 2 kilometres were my fastest by far. But
What did you pump out for your first 2 per K?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, you do.
I actually don't.
Don't pretend you don't know.
I had to look at numbers of things because I knew you were going to ask me numbers. So I'm terrible with numbers.
But what were you roughly? You must have been like low 4s.
Oh, sub 4.
Sub 4.
I was sub 4.
Right.
Yeah, too fast. So I needed to sit around 4 minutes 10 per kilometre
For 42K?
for 42K.
To hit sub 3 hours.
To hit sub 3.
Drum roll. So you've done, at halfway, you've said to yourself what?
Yeah, I went, let's have a go at life and let's just do this. And then I was running up Fifth Avenue coming into the last couple of K going, why did I tell myself to have a go? Because this is the hardest thing I've ever done.
Oh, right. So you're in the Hurt Locker Hard.
I was in the Hurt Locker Hard. And then I saw Nick again for the second time. He saw me earlier in the race. And I don't know, just things go through your head. I was just like, we didn't come all this way for me to miss this by 10 seconds. Kids are at home with mum. Mum's been through a lot. I was like thinking of dad. Nice. I just was like, you know, things like I'm 40 next year. Let's just do it before you're 40. Done. Just have a go, Loz.
Have a go.
And I don't even remember crossing the finish line really.
Wow.
So but I got there. 2 hours 59 minutes and 47 seconds.
High five.
Yeah. So it just scraped in.
Freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I think you were the first person to text me.
I was up. I was
up
up and I knew you were doing it. And I thought, well, all right, how'd you go? Because I don't look on socials
I
and all
can't
that
remember.
stuff.
But I remember you text me again like 2 hours later going, oh, you broke sub 3.
Oh, no, I just said, how'd you go? Because I didn't want to ask. You know when you do a marathon and it's like when you're pregnant and someone's like, have you had the kid yet? I didn't want to ask you your time. So I said, how'd you go? And you wrote back something like, good. So I just left it at that. But then someone at work told me that you broke 3 hours. Then I text you.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Mate, that's unreal. Stoked. You're a weapon. And then post that, you're feeling great, loving life, like just...
Yeah, then we had a few more days in America to just digest it all, and then it was back home and back into reality like it never happened and into routine and doing all the things. But
proud of yourself?
Nice. Yeah, I was proud of myself. Like one of my things is like when it comes to training like that, I had heard Justin Langer say this quote once, and it's never left me. It's that the pain of discipline is nothing compared to the pain of disappointment.
Yeah.
So to me, like getting up and training, being disciplined with all that, even, you know, showing up to those sessions that you don't want to. And I did a lot of that training for Sydney and New York solo.
How many runs a week?
Or Limo a little bit, but
maybe Lehman.
How many runs a week do I do?
Prep.
4 runs a week.
Yeah.
And like
and do you ever get,
3 of those would have been just by myself.
Yeah. And do you ever have any of those sessions during the weeks leading up that you're just like, I couldn't be bothered today? Or are you like,
Yeah,
nah,
but I'd do it.
you just get it done?
I just get it
Where's
done.
that come from?
I don't know. I just don't.
That's an interesting question, I reckon. Like, where does that
Yeah.
come from? Have a think about it. So you just don't feel like it, but you do it.
Well, it's just ingrained in me. I just know that I'm a better person all round. Better human, better wife, better mum, better
If you get it
teacher.
done.
If I get up in the morning and I get it done and yeah. And I like to challenge myself. I like to do the hard things. I like to get out of my comfort zone. That's why I said yes to today.
Yeah, cool.
You know, one of those things. Like I
Yeah.
do like to challenge myself.
Yeah. Why?
I just think you can only learn from it.
Yeah.
If it doesn't challenge you, it won't change you type mentality as well. You know, you just, you can, learn and grow and keep an open mind. I don't have all the answers. I don't ever want to claim to have all the answers. So I like to, challenge myself and learn from people like yourself in this environment or at the gym, at Tribe. Like we haven't even really touched on that. Like that's been such a constant, such a reliable unit and organisation family for me over the years, like all through, marriage and IVF and all the overseas holidays I've had with Dad, just the support and guidance that Tribe has offered, not just for me, but it's a place where my sister and my mum feel safe to train as well. Like that's pretty cool.
That's cool.
Like
Yeah.
it gives so much advice and support.
Tell us a bit about Ash, your sister.
Ashy,
Little
she's
Ashy.
pregnant with her third baby. Yeah, she's good. She's
Because what's the age gap there?
5.5 years.
Yep.
So growing up, we were never as obviously close as what we are now. Because my brother's only 2 years older than me. So, yeah, we've become very close, and her husband and Nick are really good mates as well.
That's cool.
She's got a really kind heart, Ash, and she's just a quiet achiever, and she's probably got her own story to share with you to explore. But yeah, she kind of keeps things close to her heart. But yeah, she's a really good human, kind soul.
That's cool. Very good. Let's shift course a little bit. I'm just going to go for a few quick questions. What makes your heart sing?
Oh, sandhills and an ocean dip for sure.
Wow.
That combo is the best.
That is a good combo.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
a coffee. Yeah.
Very good. What annoys you?
Susan. Oh.
That's Susan Smith.
Susan
Boom.
Smith. Got her. She's not here to defend herself.
Oh, she'd be wishing she could just jump through the camera right now and just get you back. But shush, Susan.
I was just going through those self-checkouts. That they annoy me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, literally just did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that annoys me.
That's
They're hard work.
Favourite sporting team?
Oh, that's... you're going to hate... Like,
You're not going to say Dragons.
no, I don't...
Manly.
No. Do I have to pick an NRL team?
No, you pick
See,
any
I was
team.
going to say the Australian cricket team.
Oh, well, okay. I didn't see that coming.
I
love the
think
Australian cricket team.
I think I've really shifted sporting my focus. Like, I love Pat Cummins. I love him as a leader.
Yeah.
I love how he has his players' backs and he talks to them,
That's cool.
communicates well with them. Like, I like to see how behind the scenes more how an organisation works. I love that in a sporting team. That intrigues me.
Is there any sporting team that you would like to sort of love to be able to sit in the meetings of and learn more about? Is it the Australian cricket team or is there someone else?
I would like to go. I would like to see more about how cricket operates. I mean, you talk about Bellamy. I'd love to go in there. I actually think, like at the Roosters, I reckon they'd be good to go behind the scenes of as well. But any of the American sporting teams, like
they're
they're pretty.
phenomenal, eh?
It's just a whole nother. They just do everything better. Everything better, bigger, better. Yeah,
It's amazing, hey?
yeah.
It is amazing.
Love to see that.
Favourite thing to cook? Favourite movie? What do we got?
Eggs. I don't know.
Eggs.
They're
Sorry,
easy.
Nick.
Yeah. Oh, a risotto. I do.
Favourite movie?
Remember the Titans.
Oh, yeah.
I do love that.
Leadership.
movie.
What is it? Reflects.
Attitude reflects leadership.
Attitude reflects leadership.
Yeah.
Very good. You said that to me once.
Did I?
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. I think it was like you were having a crack at me.
Oh,
You're trying to word association. You're just going to give me one word. The
Okay.
Matildas.
Trailblazers,
Yep. Your mum?
brave,
Tribe?
reliable,
Costi.
Greek,
Nick, as in your hubby, Nick.
king.
Oh, that's nice. Following a marathon program.
I think discipline comes to mind.
Yep. And then actual game day, running a marathon on game day, on the day.
Oh, that's pretty nauseating for me. I get really nervous.
Right.
I don't like being at the start line.
Yeah, right.
Once I get going and I'm in
When does
the
the nerves
zone.
kick in? The morning of or the night before? Or
Yeah, night before.
Yeah.
The realization of what you're about to do when you're lying out all of your stuff and
Yeah.
So
Another one, word association, Susan Smith. I know we kind of just touched on it, but
Dickhead.
just give me something
Yeah,
else.
dickhead.
Dickhead.
Yeah.
Excellent. Biggest learning to date? What do you got for me? Because you've done a lot, right? You push yourself. I like how you do. You challenge yourself. So those that challenge
Yeah.
themselves, sometimes they win and sometimes they don't. Often you win. You learn from the things that don't go so well.
Yeah, that's it. I guess do hard stuff is what was the question again?
So
Sorry?
like your biggest learning to date?
Yeah, I think it's to do the hard stuff because you know, even if it means that you fail, because that can become the foundation for your successes, right? You look at things and where they went wrong, like with the marathons, like with Canberra, what did I do wrong? How can I execute it better next time? And you move forward from there. So yeah, I think do hard things. That's my
So that's your
biggest
learning is to do hard things because then the learnings come out of that.
Yeah.
Right. And then I'm going to just dig a bit. So of the hard things you've done, marathons, like there's obviously other stuff. What is there something that you just take from, say, marathons that is a learning?
Yeah, you can't cut corners.
Yeah. Okay. That's a good one. Don't cut corners. Bellamy would like that.
Well, it's funny, and I remember Ricky Stewart coming and speaking to our boys one day,
Yeah.
and he said you can tell a lot about the type of person that you are. If you wear your tie, loose down around your neck, if you have your top button undone, if you're that bloke that runs around the oval and cuts the corners, it says a lot about your attitude and how you approach things.
So don't cut corners. I like it.
So, yeah, well, you can't, yeah.
What about 2025? So I've got two more questions for you to finish off. This
Yep.
is you've had a massive year last year, 3 marathons.
Yeah,
Like, as far as your
huge.
own health and fitness is concerned, do you have anything on the horizon?
For this year, the big 40, the year of 40. No, I wanted to slow down a bit this year, be a bit more present. I did get a ticket into the Sydney Marathon.
Sorry. Do you want to tell Nick?
That was huge because it's just become a world major. Like, that's
yeah,
massive.
that's
We got
huge,
announced
yeah.
in New York. So to be a part of history, that's pretty cool. And I also signed up to the Noosa Half Marathon in May.
Yeah. Anything else you want to just get off your chest?
Yeah, one more thing that I've said to do. I was trying to get Nick Dykes to do it with me too, but I don't think
What,
she's
on
in.
top of the Noosa? There's another. There's a third thing.
Well, I just thought for 40, I wanted to do 40 Mexicans,
Oh, wow.
and Nick turns 50 this year. Am I allowed to say
You're
that?
allowed to say that.
Oh,
yeah. Nick
sorry.
Dykes turns 50
Sorry.
this year. Yeah, wow.
So I was like, oh, maybe we could meet halfway and do 25 together for
Cool.
Mexicans. No,
Yeah,
but
that's it.
I don't think she's on board with that. But yeah, I'd like to do 40 Mexicans for
Adam
40.
will do them with you.
40 Mexican. Yeah, Adam. Yeah. Yeah.
And then to finish off with, so your kids, right? What's one or two pieces of advice that you think you and Nick might sort of constantly, what might be the theme for the kids as they go through their teenage years and they get a bit older? Advice for them?
I think it's our hope that they would surround themselves with good people,
Yeah.
and not, and people that celebrate you as well.
Meaning?
Just that they, stuff happens in life and people are there to support you and lift you up.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful. But sometimes, when you do achieve great things or You know, it doesn't have to be, you know, running a sub-3 marathon. It's just, you know, getting an award at assembly on a Friday and you've got that friend that comes up and says, congratulations.
Yeah, that's cool.
And be that person for other people.
Yeah.
Manners are free. Always say that too. Use your manners. They'll try and get you far in life.
Cool.
And what else? You just want them to be happy, don't you? So do what makes your heart happy.
Is there, and then I've just thought of another question. Is there anything that I didn't ask you that you might have thought I was going to ask or cover or wish I had have asked?
No, I've got one question that comes to mind, but it's inappropriate, and I'm glad that you didn't ask.
Go.
No.
You know they want to. You can't not do that.
No.
We're going to just knock it on the head.
No, that's good. No,
You can ask Lozzie off camera what that question was. How does that sound?
Yeah, sounds
All
good.
right. Thank you for being on Tribe Talk, Lozzie. I just reckon a lot of people would love hearing about your story, and especially last year and what goes through your head. And you might have a lot of people probably come up to you and ask more questions. But just thanks for sharing yourself. And I know you didn't maybe look forward to it a lot, so we really appreciate it.
No, it's been a pleasure, actually. Thanks. I've grown a lot from this.
Good on you.
Yeah.
Thank you.